Hey guys, it's been a while, but now I'm back, and today's video I wanted to dedicate to Seele, one of my oldest favorite characters due to her design and just her amazing gameplay. But many of you may have realized that Seele has sort of fallen off because the enemy's health has just gone higher and higher and higher, making it almost impossible to trigger Resurgence, which is the main core of her kit. But there is one place that Seele can shine, and no, it's not MOC or Apocalyptic Shadow, which usually tend to be for hunt characters. It's actually pure fiction. Now Seele is the one hunt character that can actually work well in pure fiction because she could just take so many turns that she's basically just an erudition character at that point. So now my goal for this video is simple. It's just to get 40,000 points in this new pure fiction using Seele. And I haven't gotten 40,000 points in quite a while just due to the inflation of health. So I'm super excited to see if I can actually get it done in this video. Now my first idea for this challenge was just to feed Seele with a full hypercarry team, using Sparkle, Robin, and Rame just to apply a huge amount of buffs. However, there was still an issue with this team, and the fact was that I would die super easily because I had no healer to keep me up. So even though I managed to make it to halfway through the second wave, all the damage I took was permanent, so after a couple hits, there was nothing more I could really do, and I ended up dying. So now I thought the best idea here would be to add a healer. So I used Gallagher in the 4th slot to make sure I could sustain my team. And as expected, it wasn't too bad. Gallagher was actually able to sustain. However, as you can see here, the only amount of points we were able to get in the end was about 29k, which is nowhere near that 40k mark. Well, it's pretty close, but it's not quite there. So I had to find a new method to be able to get more damage in this small amount of time without dying. My next big idea was to use Ting Yun instead of Ruame, because Ting Yun here allows us to use Dance 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 to gain even more action advance, also using her ult to get Seele to use more ults, which leads to Seele getting more turns from her Resurgence. So all in all, super good synergy here. Ting Yun also has the opportunity to use her ultimate on Robin, leading to more Robin ults with higher damage as well. And this is honestly working very well. I was able to kill the enemies very fast and take minimal damage since I had so much action advance. But there did come a time where I eventually did take a bunch of damage. And over here you see that it's not enough for my team to sustain. So my reaction to this was just to keep trying over and over again to see if I can get better luck and make my team not die. And so I kept trying, but even so it was still hard. I still was getting hit way too much, and just a couple hits was enough to completely end the run. If I was not able to get like 10 actions before the enemy's turn, they would just easily be able to wipe me. But of course I didn't let that stop me, and that's what led to this run right here. The first wave was pretty easy because I was able to just one-shot every enemy and eventually take them all out. But the second wave is what kept giving me trouble. You see, these Marshak enemies don't instantly die when you kill them. They actually respawn. So that meant I had to waste a whole turn just to get rid of their first phase, with their second phase still being alive. So even though I did manage to do a lot of damage, it wouldn't mean much since I had to kill them again. But just check out how many actions Seele is able to take before the enemies even get to move. One right there, Sparkle pushes her up. Here to take another action. This action goes into another ult. Well, not even yet because you still have another action. It's very hard to do an ult after basic, but it is possible. I've done it before. So here you go, ult. Get this kill, proc Resurgence, go again. Get this next turn. And right after this, Robin comes up. She's able to use her skill and immediately go into an ult. Lovely Robin ult. Now Seele gets to go again. Of course she's gonna get a kill here, which means she gets to go again. But it's not over yet because you still have Ting Yun. Ting Yun ult is gonna give Seele another ult. And after buffing, I hope I didn't buff. But now Seele can get a kill, which gives her another turn. It's just non-stop. She gets another turn. She didn't kill that time, but it didn't matter. And then Sparkle can even pull her up. Guess what? She gets 2 more turns, and the enemies haven't moved in this entire time. And this is the farthest I was able to get so far without Gallagher. But even still, the damage is just too much. So at this point, I was just kind of at a loss. You see, I didn't know what to do at this point, because if I used a healer, there wasn't enough damage. But if I didn't use a healer, then there wasn't enough health. But there was something I didn't think about, and that was the fact I needed Seele to take even more actions to kill the enemies if I wanted to get through without dying. But Seele did not have to be the one to take more actions. If I slotted in a second DPS that could take out the enemies and get rid of those first lives, especially the Mara Struck, then Seele can just kill them more often and not have to worry about getting hit. And the perfect person for this job was, of course, the Queen of Pure Fiction herself, Herda. So after slotting in Herda, I immediately saw the difference. A lot of these enemies happen to be Ice Weak, which is perfect, since obviously Herda is Ice Element. But the fact that she does AoE and has follow-ups when enemies get 50% HP just makes it so much easier. Every time Seele gets somebody low, immediately Herda comes in with the fall attack. And being Ice Element, she also applies Freeze whenever she breaks somebody, which helps even more with the problem of being damaged so much. And the combo continued to work great, as I got the enemies down to only a few left. So if I took out the side enemies, Kafka will be severely weakened. But there was one issue. I was 1% off of Seele's ult, meaning I couldn't kill Kafka unless right here I could get her ult. Ooh, but no. The Dot Queen strikes, and I managed to lose my entire team before reaching the 40k goal. But it wasn't over yet, because I still had some fight in me. And with that fight I had left, I kept trying and trying, until finally, this run happens. And now my sparkle is really low, but as long as I can manage not to get hit, we'll be fine. And as you can see, 3 of these dudes are going up, and if they go, the run is pretty much over. But my goal is just to kill them as fast as I can to make sure that I just don't die. And I got hit once, which is sort of misplay, but it's fine. I got lucky. Now my whole team's up. If I can kill all these people in this amount of time, this should be a win. They're going off for a huge hit of 100k into another 100k. Now I was decided between Seele and her to pull up, but Herda was just so far, it wasn't worth pulling her up, so I just pulled up Seele. Now if Seele can manage to take out all these enemies left, we should be good, because no more enemies are spawning. But here is where I made my biggest misplay. See, I used my ult early, when instead I should have waited for Kafka to trigger Shatter so I can ult her instantly with more weakness, leading to Sparkle dying. But it doesn't matter, because this mode doesn't care about dying. All it cares about is killing. So that's what I did with Seele in her sight. I took out Kafka. Ended the game. So after that huge journey of twists and turns, all I did was full auto the second side using Kafka Black Swan, and that easily got about 30,000 points, leading to a win, of course, of 80,000. But I hope you guys enjoyed that gameplay. It was honestly pretty challenging for me to do, figure out different ways to try to get to 40,000 points, and who would have expected her to be the answer to her problems. Honestly, it's nice to see Seele performing well because I really like using her. So if I can make her work, I'd love to use her. That's pretty much all I had for this video, guys. So please drop a like and comment other things you would like to see in future videos. And peace.